There are a number of things you're unintentionally doing that are preventing you from becoming confident. These bad habits really serve as a wall between where you are right now and your most confident self. And the problem is, each time you engage in one of these habits, you're making the wall a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger. Each negative action is adding another brick. And so in today's video, I want to walk through the 6 bad habits that are secretly ruining your confidence so that you can recognize them and take steps to eliminate them from your life. Being in the social media age, it has never been easier to compare ourselves to others, whether we do this consciously or subconsciously. I've even found this creeping into my creative work at times. 2 of my favorite creators on YouTube are Gabe Bolt and Ali Abdaal, both with amazing channels. And it amazes me how effortlessly engaging they are in their videos. And while I know I shouldn't compare myself to them, I find it difficult at times. I still occasionally struggle with how do I present myself on camera. I can get caught in this negative comparison cycle, wishing I could turn the camera on and be as smooth as the creators that I watch. So how can we stop this comparison cycle? For me, I find it really helpful to zoom out and realize that everyone I compare myself to was once in the same place that I am. Gabe Bolt and Ali Abdaal once started with no subscribers. Nobody watched their videos, and they very likely had similar feelings to what I've experienced. So instead of focusing on the success of others, focus on your gains. Look at how far you've come and the small wins you've already achieved. Celebrate your own progress. That's how you stop the comparison cycle and start feeling better about your own journey. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you have heard this Jim Rohn quote before. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now, I used to think of this quote in terms of my closest friends, but as I've gotten older, I've realized that this is even more applicable with the people that I work with and generally just spend time with. For you, it might be teammates on a sports team, acquaintances, maybe even the people that you follow on social media or the podcasts that you listen to. Now, I've worked with a few people in the past who were pretty negative about just about everything. Every conversation felt like a venting session about what wasn't going right in their life, the traffic. Their kids woke up in the middle of the night and they're exhausted. Their work is so demanding and there always seems to be a new crisis that they're facing. Over time, it became incredibly draining and I noticed that I slowly began to fall into similar thinking patterns, focusing on the negative, moving from one fire to the next. It was subtle, but looking back, my self-esteem and confidence really took a hit. So I want you to take a moment to think about who you spend the majority of your time with, both in person and online. Are they building you up or are they subtly tearing you down? If you're surrounded by people who are constantly complaining or doubting themselves, that negativity seeps into your mindset, whether you realize it or not. You have to intentionally seek out people who want the best for you, whether that be the people that you interact with in real life or the people you follow online who can push you to grow and celebrate your wins with you. Those are the people who will help you become your confident self. Do you ever find it difficult to put yourself first? A few months ago, I decided to start waking up a bit earlier to exercise 3 days a week, and it had a massive impact on my mental clarity and my energy levels. It really helped me to become more confident in my own skin, and I felt a lot more capable of handling day-to-day life. This also came at a time when I switched jobs, and while my consistent exercise routine had a really big positive impact on my life, as that work started to pick up, there was this creeping temptation to skip the morning workouts so I could get into the office a little bit earlier. And this is why it's incredibly important that we have boundaries. When we don't set clear boundaries, we're telling ourselves that our own needs don't matter. We start sacrificing things that build us up for the sake of other people's demands, which ultimately destroys our confidence. Now, if this is something that you struggle with, something that has helped me is to clearly define my values. When you know what your values are, then you can use them to help you make decisions and set boundaries in your life. For me, 2 of my core values are my family and my health. This means that family time and physical activities are non-negotiables for me. If an opportunity comes up that interferes with my family or with my health, it's now an easy decision to say no, because I've defined what's important to me and I'm not going to let someone else overstep the boundaries that I've set in my life. By identifying your values, setting boundaries becomes a lot easier. We live in a society that is maybe the loneliest it's ever been, and it's literally killing us. Now, I'm an introvert, so I get it. Sometimes we need that time alone to recharge, but there's a really fine line between recharging and isolating yourself. And this is something that a lot of people are struggling with. It's so easy these days to disappear into the online world. Endless social media, YouTube videos, Netflix marathons, and before you know it, days have gone by without a single meaningful interaction. Now, the unfortunate truth is that confidence grows when we interact with others, not online, but face to face. It doesn't have to be deep philosophical conversations every single time, but you do have to get out there, spending time with friends, laughing, enjoying life. Real life social interactions are essential to feeling good about yourself and building confidence. So when was the last time you actually went out with friends or family for a meal or to an event? If you can't remember, it's probably time to get out there again. Even if it feels a little awkward at first, pushing yourself into social situations is one of the most effective ways to boost your confidence. Do you ever overthink decisions to the point where it feels like the weight of the decision is crushing you? This is something that I struggle with when I'm making these YouTube videos. The issue with YouTube videos is that you can always make them just a little bit better. You can add an idea to the script. You can spend a little bit more time on the edit. But if you continue to do this, then the video will never actually be put out into the world. I've had some analysis paralysis on this video, if I'm being honest. What I've learned is that you gain confidence by actually doing the thing and learning from the process. If you constantly analyze every little detail, you're telling yourself that you don't trust your own ability to make decisions. And when you don't trust yourself, that wall of doubt gets a little bit taller. So here's one option to get you moving. Give yourself a deadline. When you're faced with a decision, tell yourself that by tomorrow night or whatever point, you'll have made up your mind. Trust your gut, own the decision, and move forward. Every time that you take action, no matter how small, you're building yourself into a more confident person. One of the biggest threats to your confidence is staying in your comfort zone. It's easy to fall into the trap of telling yourself that unless you can go all in on a goal or a project, then you probably shouldn't even bother trying. And this mentality is often rooted in a fear of failure. My suggestion to tackle this mindset: start before you know how. Before I began writing my book, I had no proof showing that I was actually capable of writing and finishing a book. But every day I sat down to write, I was proving to myself that I was capable of achieving that goal. And eventually, all those small wins stacked together, and I published a book that I'd always wanted to write. Confidence comes from taking risks and from starting even when you don't have everything figured out. You don't have to be all in to start something. You just have to be willing to begin. Take that first step, write the first page, make that move, and let your confidence grow. Now that you're on the path to eliminating these bad habits, check out this video where I discuss 3 simple, positive habits that you can incorporate into your life that will help you to become a more confident person. I will see you there.